We're at the Australian Junior Athletics Championships and we're wrapping up the final day of competition. I've managed to grab Jessica Hull, who's one of our newly minted Australian champions in the 1500 metres and has also just picked up a silver medal in the 800. Jess, we'll go back before the weekend even started. Big PB at State Opens and you were feeling pretty good coming out of that meet. It's been a really good season, obviously. How were you feeling leading in? Were you confident of medals and what sort of times were you looking at?
I wasn't overly confident with medals. I was happy with the way training was coming along and I knew that the fast times were there if they had to come out. The 1500, I probably had a lot of pressure on myself, because that was the one that I wanted really badly because I won it in the under 17s and then didn't go to juniors the next year, and then the year after I finished second in the under 20s, so I wanted to finish on a high note, and so I had a lot of pressure on myself to do that. And then time wise, I didn't really think, I wasn't like chasing times, it was more about like trying to get to the win. And then the 800, it was fun. It was more go out there, there's no pressure, the 1500's out of the way, whatever happens, just cause a bit of, just go out there and see what I could do against 800 girls and try and run a PB, but I didn't think I'd have to PB in a heat, but I did. So that's just what the full process was coming into the weekend, was 1500, get it done, 800, have some fun.
Obviously, you have a good idea yourself of what you're going to do. What did your dad think you were capable of going in?
Pretty much he said to me in the 1500, he said 425 will get you what you want, 425, and it turned out spot on. I ran a 424 and it got me what I wanted, and so that was sort of his thought process, was time wise that's what I needed to do, and he always picks it spot on, and he did again. And then the 800, he was the same as me. We went in, neither of us had expectations. It was more of just go out there, enjoy it, see what I could do when I got to mix it with the top girls, and hope for that PB, which came along. We sort of did think that the 206 was there, but it just didn't need to be. In the heat I did push really hard because I had a bit of sting in the legs, but and then the final conditions weren't going to lead to a 206 today, but place wise it was really good.
We'll go back to I think it was Thursday, the heats of the 1500. You essentially coasted through there, 432. There wasn't too much pressure in that race?
No, there wasn't. It was really good. I just got out there and I ran consistently. I think we ticked over about 72-second laps just over and over. The third lap I probably did stress myself out a bit because I don't like looking behind and having a look at who's there, so I didn't know how many of us were there, and I really wanted the top 4 auto spot, so I probably did push the third lap in the heat a little bit harder, but finish wise it didn't feel like it took much out of me. I'm probably feeling it more today, having run 4 days in a row now, but 432 at the time was okay.
And you'd obviously run the PB at State Opens at 420, so you knew there was a fair bit in the bank going into the final.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot more in the tank after that run last weekend.
And we'll talk about the final. So 424, you settled sort of top 3 the first lap or so, and then with about 700 to go, made a pretty decisive move to the front and pulled out a margin. Clearly that was a tactical move.
We didn't really have a tactic going into the race. It was more of just, I didn't want, the third lap I'm conscious of, in most races the third lap will drop, and that was more what I didn't want to drop time in the third lap. The first 700, 800 I felt really comfortable, really in control, and then there's a big tailwind down the back straight, I remember, so that was more, I wanted to use the tailwind, and turned out I sort of did get that bit of a gap. Probably lucky I got such a gap because I definitely hit a wall in the last 50 metres or so. But it just turned out all right. I felt really strong, really comfortable until probably 150 to go, and I was like, okay, I've got to go to technique, I've got to hold it together. I don't want it to slip away.
You did have a fair margin for the vast majority of that last 2 laps. You never really looked like getting run down from where we were sitting, but were you worried about it?
I was just conscious of that. I knew they were going to be finishing hard, and that I'd kicked very early with 700 to go. I'd really picked up the pace, so I did feel with about 50 to go, I thought, okay, if they do come and challenge, I probably have got a little bit more there. I was hoping I wouldn't have to go there. And then while I was running down the back straight, I was watching the big screen of the live stream and trying to see how much gap I had. And the last 120, I was very much, okay, I'm not letting it go now. I sort of thought I was home, but you never can sort of come across really, like, you can't always guarantee it. You've got to push the line. So.
You're not the only one this weekend who's been sneaking a look up at the big screen. I think we're going to have to get some video happening more often. Obviously, national champion in the 1500. It's not your first national title, but you must be tremendously pleased, particularly in your last season.
Yeah, it was actually, it's probably definitely, since World Juniors, it's probably the most excited I've been with a race, like just to come away national champion, and it was just like, it was really nice to get it back again. It was just really exciting, and I probably took a lot of that into my heat of the 800 and ran with the momentum that I'd sort of gathered. So yeah, it was really exciting.
We'll move over to the 800 heats. So they happened yesterday.
Yep.
Essentially, you had to work a bit in the heat. You were saying
Yeah.
before the race that you had a bit of tightness in the calf, but
Yep.
you seemed to run that out during the race.
Yeah, when I was warming, or probably before I even warmed up, my left calf was pretty tight, but through warm up it loosened up a bit. My first stride on the tartan didn't feel great. It was a bit uncomfortable, so I was like, oh, I'm in for a bit of pain here. And then I sort of drew a very fast heat, and there was a lot of us in the mix, so I knew it was probably going to be a lot faster than we thought. And then I'm watching the first heat, and they've come around in a 61 for the through 400, and I was like, okay, it's going to be faster than we were thinking, but I'll just go with it and see what I can do. And then the PB came away, so yeah, very exciting.
So 2:07, obviously thrilled with that. The final today, Georgia Griffith really seemed to be in a class of her own out the front.
Definitely, she's a very classy athlete. I went to Eugene with her for World Juniors. Lovely, lovely girl. Couldn't be happier for her too. And she's had a really smart approach to her season and enjoyed her last season as a junior. And can't wait to step up to seniors with her next year.
Going in, obviously Georgia seemed to be, the clear favourite. That there were some specialist 800 metres in the field. The Kiwi had come over. But what were you thinking going into the race? What was your best case scenario?
Best case scenario was a medal, and I sort of thought a sneaky bronze. I could probably sneak away with a nab of bronze, but all the girls were specialist 800 girls, so I was a bit like, if it doesn't happen, I've had a PB, I've had a good 15, like I've had a good weekend no matter what. And then, come away with the silver, so that was very exciting. Don't really know where it came from down the home straight, but I think I just got side of the line and got tall, and there we go.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, you went back early in the race.
Yeah.
I thought that might be a tactical move based on the amount of running you've done in the last few days, but you seemed to indicate that wasn't the case. It just got caught out a bit.
I don't really know. It's 800 goes by so fast. Like I can't even really recall it all. I want to go and watch the video actually and see how it actually went down. But the first 350, I know I probably wasn't in the greatest of positions. I sort of round the bend, I was a bit back, so I was like, okay, I'll tuck in, I'll get the inside line, and try and come around again down the straight. And I was like, okay, I'm not quite going to get there before this bend, so I tucked in again, and then down the back straight. I don't know how, I just sort of got myself into the ideal position that I wanted, and then tucked in again and around the bend and home straight and run for home. Yeah.
Obviously, doing the longer races probably helped with a bit of that late strength coming home down the line.
Definitely. 1500, I sort of come across the line and I was like, oh, I feel like I've got more laps to go, but a lot shorter than I'm used to, but it was good. Yeah.
From here off to the World Cross Country in China, the same weekend as Nationals, so you won't be able to run there, but must be exciting for senior team.
Yeah, I'm technically still a junior on the team. I'm running an under 20 race, but it's a mixed team, so there's seniors with us. So it's really exciting because I can't wait to, like, international trip with senior athletes. There's going to be so much to learn. So how they go about their daily business and lead up to a race, how they deal with a different culture, because China's going to be very different to here, the foods they eat and everything, there's going to be so much to learn from them. So that's what I'm excited for the most, and then hopefully it can put together a nice 6K. It's going to be different to this weekend with the 8 and the 15. So either way, I think I'm just going to be out there for really good experience and hopefully come away with the result I'm after. So we'll see.
Obviously, you might run Zatopek later in the year, and obviously there's still some races left to do as a junior, perhaps over the winter. But this is your last national championship as a junior. It's been a long time coming. What's your feeling about leaving here for the last time as a junior?
I couldn't be happier with how it's all come together. I had goals at the start of the season was to come away really happy with the way I performed at Junior Nationals, and I hit a bit of a roadblock in December, and I thought I had to reevaluate and think, okay, is it going to happen? And then I put some really hard work in and sort of got back on track for January, February, and then to come away with it, it's really exciting. I'm very happy with how I've wrapped it all up now. Yeah, sort of feel like I've come to the end of an era.
Well, congratulations, Jess, one of our 5 national champions this weekend, and we're going to be looking forward to China when you're running at World Cross Country. Congratulations.